welcome back. Today is Monday the 5th of October. As you can see, I'm down the allotment, and for the first time in 6 days it's not raining, so I am so pleased. Yesterday I actually did come down in the rain because I thought I just needed to get at least one job done, and that was this raised bed here. That was where I had all of my courgettes growing this year, and I've just pulled all of them out and put them in the composter. As you can see, there's still quite a lot of weeds in there, but that is where I'm hoping to put some of my onions and garlic that I'm growing this year. So today I've got a couple of hours. I want to get a million jobs done, but the first thing I'm going to do is just get that bed sorted. I've got some compost that I can put in there, and then where my sweet corn is behind, that didn't do, amazingly well this year, but I've still got cobs on every single plant, and some of them have two, but they're a little bit shorter than normal, so I'm so pleased with that. And then in between that corn I've got my squashes. Unfortunately this year I've only got 3. Other years I've had up to 30 squash and pumpkins, but some years it's not as good, and definitely this year hasn't been as good. But I'm going to try and get those taken home today, and then I can really just work on getting the plot cleared and ready for planting up with my onions and garlic. So as usual, when I'm doing kind of like a work video, I'm not sure how much I'm going to get done today and how far or how long this video is going to be, but I hope you enjoy watching, and hopefully by the end of this there's been a load of work done. So as well as 3 courgette plants and some very unsuccessful beans, in this raised bed I also planted some semi-perennial kale that I got from the Heritage Seed Library earlier this year. They're right kind of at the very end of the raised bed. They're looking so unhappy because I didn't net them or anything, and they got kind of annihilated by caterpillars, so they didn't do very well, but they are actually growing back. And since they're semi-perennial, I'm going to leave those in the ground and we will see how well they do, and hopefully kind of over winter and early spring they're going to be producing loads of lush greens for us to have at home in the Hungry Gap. But yeah, I'm so happy with this raised bed. As you can see, it needs a lot more soil putting in it to kind of raise the level up, but this year all I had to hand was loads of manure, so I just put loads of horse manure in there and hope for the best, and the courgettes did so well. So as time goes by, we just kind of keep bringing that level up.
We stay out, we get down, the clock is ticking, but I don't mind 'cause I'm all out of good luck, and I got nothing to lose.
First job is done and ticked off, so really pleased with this. And because it's like got this raised bed that was full of manure at the beginning of the year, it's not full of kind of years and years of weeds. So now I've just put 60 litres of some peat-free compost on the top, and this will be ready now for planting my onions in, maybe as early as the end of the week. So exciting, but on to the next job. So as I said at the very beginning of the video, I usually have much bigger harvest of squash and pumpkin. Unfortunately, it has been a terrible year, but let's see. So here is my sweet corn harvest. They are so tiny. Unfortunately, the sweet corn plants went in after the frost that we had in May, and then we had a couple of weeks of really hot weather, so I think they struggled to kind of establish, and then we had really cold weather. So to be honest, I'm lucky that I've got anything. I've just opened one, so I'll show you what it looks like. This is what it looks like. So I do have some sweet corn, but yeah, not very good. But I'm so pleased that I, you know, tried growing them, and I'm hoping next year I will get a much better harvest. Well, hopefully everything will grow better next year, because I only got the 4 squash this year as well. Now, it's just started to rain now, so what I'm going to try and do before it goes torrential is just completely clear the area that I did grow the sweet corn and the pumpkins. If I can get that completely cleared and dug over today, that is just going to set me ahead of the game, so I'll be really pleased with that. But also, can you just see as well my perennial kale or perennial brassicas? I'm not exactly sure what they're actually called, but they are doing so well. I think earlier in the year I put 20 cuttings in and 3 of them have taken, and I'm so pleased with that, because again, in the hungry gap there's not much to eat, and I'll be able to, you know, harvest leaves off those every couple of days, and that will just be so beneficial. But anyway, let's get on and get this area cleared. Unfortunately, in about an hour I've only managed to get this really small area dug over, but it is so wet that every time kind of you're digging it with a spade, you're burying, you know, the weeds, and it's really hard to actually pull them out. So I think I'm going to leave it a couple of days. It's stopped raining again now, so I'm hoping that, you know, in a couple of days the ground can really dry out so I can dig it over properly. But I have kind of filled both of my compost bins up now, so they'll take a couple of days to kind of squish down. But before I go home, I'm going to spend maybe about 10 minutes now just, you know, pulling up loads of the easy weeds from the rest of the plot, and then that will just give everything a little bit of a head start, and it can help dry it out a little bit more, because the plot at the moment, being so weedy, is just harbouring so many slugs, so I want to sort them out. Okay, so it started raining quite a lot now, so I think I'm just going to call it a day. I've been down here for about 2 hours, and I would have thought I would have achieved much more digging, but the ground is just so wet, and I'm so pleased with what I've managed to get done now. The raised bed there is ready for the onions and garlic to go in later in the week, and fingers crossed. I've not checked what the weather forecast is going to be like for the rest of the week, but I'm hoping it's just going to dry a bit. The flood defences in the village are still up, so, you know, maybe we are due some more rain, but all I can do is just hope, and I'm definitely going to be getting some onions and garlic in no matter what. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. If this is the first time you're watching one of my videos, I do hope you've enjoyed it, and please hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you'll be notified of all of my latest videos, and I will catch up with you in the next episode. Bye!